happened?
Okay.
People die when killed.
Alright. Welcome, one and all, to those who watch these VODs. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for those who end up joining and watching this later. And thank you for those who continue to follow for some weird reason, even though I don't stream anymore.
You had 16 views in the last Civ that we did.
I know, right? Well, I was also stoned out of my mind. Maybe I'll do more stoned content, but not for D&D. Last time we left off, about 3 weeks ago, the party had the members of Caspian, Bardrus, and Tilcat, as well as Snicknesh for a moment, and one other, an elf that we lost, unfortunately. There's been a bit of change in cast due to schedule complications, as well as some players deciding to be general dicks to the DM. I wasn't talking about you, but okay.
That works.
If you wish, all right. So it's Trent's fault is basically what he would like. Unfortunately, one of the players known as Doc Raven, did decide to leave after he considered my speaking to him and giving him a heads up, unfortunately condescending. And then Tren just being a general Tren. So, we have replaced them with Tren, unfortunately, who has returned, playing his new character, a drow by the name of Brazi Rothanol, a warlock, who has his own patron chosen, and Vasul, the giant Loxodon paladin, who has chosen a very unique god that many of you will find out about later. Welcome back for those who are joining us once again. The party last left off in the city of Azerk, in the Dwarven Empire known as the Vedan Empire, the Old Dwarves of Incremia. Having been told about the fact that the city that they have to march through, known as Woden, named after a once ruler, emperor of the dwarves, and as well as considered a god and venerated being, was taken over by a large orc war party. The party spent some time in Azerk collecting red lyrium, a material very similar to to normal lyrium. It's red magic that causes unstable outbursts, very similar to the concept of wild magic. Unfortunately, this would cause Tilcat's bag of holding to turn into a bag of devouring, as well as lose him that brain in a jar that they had collected after Snicknesh made the ultimate sacrifice 3 times in a row with a Yuan-Ti queen. The party
And the 3 heads.
The party decided to stay in Azerk for the time being, spending a few days there while they continued to explore and learn more, after meeting Ogain himself, one of the 3 princes of the Empire of the Dwarves, or the Empire of the Vedan, as they are called by others. The day is young as we come back. Coming into the early morning, although both Bardrus and Tilcat can barely tell what is day and what is night in this territory, as dwarves work round the clock, sleeping when they needed to. Having spent time in what was one of the smaller local taverns in this outpost of a city, coming into their time, they would see two travelers. A drow wearing strange sunglasses, dressed in strange armor compared to the rest. And then another of a rather large elephant-looking Loxodon, traveling as a mercenary, accompanying a few dwarves that had traveled or were traveling back home, who had hired him on more as a protector for their merchant, the merchant that they guarded, and as extra guard, just in case. The party has been hearing rumors of battle far to the east, at a city called Dragon's Gate, where supposedly magic has been clashing on a high rate. But unfortunately for the party, they have decided to avoid that and stay in Azerk itself. As Brazi and Vasul both arrive to the city of Azerk, learning similar that Woden has been captured by orcs. Rumor continues that there may even be Yuan-Ti as well as ogres who have joined in with the war party. We come back to the group all meeting within the tavern that they had been staying in, the Stone Hammer. And Prince Ogain, having gathered them together along with a few other dwarves from one of the legions that none of them seem to recognize. As he sits you all down at a table in a completely almost abandoned bar, besides for the barkeep himself and the tavern owner who seems to be eyeing you all up. Vasul finding it harder and harder to fit in this very short tavern, as well as these very small chairs, having to have put two chairs together just to sit down. You all sit there and look as the food is brought out. Meat, drink, and Ogain begins to speak, as he looks you each up and down. Going from one to the other, looking you each in the eye, he looks to you and goes, "Unfortunately, it seems your friend Caspian has left us for the time. We do not know what happened to him. He seems to have just vanished randomly. But while that may be a loss, I bring you two new members for your party, as you've already agreed to take on the request that I had laid upon you. So I am offering Vasul and Brazi here just as much equal opportunity and value on the reward if you all can manage to take back the city of Woden. If you can kill this orc commander, most of the rest of the orcs should run. As for any Yuan-Ti or ogres that are supposed to be there, they are yours to do with as you please. However, the rumors shouldn't be truly true. All I understand is that there's a few war chiefs that are running this. How many I cannot say, nor can I say the number of orcs, but it was enough to slaughter a small battalion. No one whom I've sent has survived, and the Legion will be moving in behind you as you lot are, tasked with breaking in and just killing any scouting units or any guards that might happen to spot the Legion as it heads in. Is there any questions from you?
Tailcat raises a hand, so we have to be stealthy, and you're sent in a Loxodon.
Stealthy isn't necessarily the right word. Rather, don't get yourselves killed. But with your party having been rather unique, I highly doubt they will pay any attention to you lot.
Well, if you can help me get the right to go dungeon delving, I've got no problem helping.
That goes the same for me. I'd rather be exploring ruins.
I will, of course, put a mention into my father, who will, if his city is regained, one of his cities, I imagine he'd have no issue with granting you permission to go into Oventium to delve and take anything, minus, of course, any noble artifacts that have one of our house's names on it. Besides that, everything else you'd be welcome to.
Yeah, fair to me. Tell me when we're leaving.
Well, you need to leave within the week. As far as it goes, it'll take you time to get there. About a month's march from what we ventured, from all the paths having crumbled and been destroyed. It will not be easy to get through. We've sent a few demolition parties ahead of you, but unfortunately nothing has returned. And all the paths we've seen seem to still be blocked. So expect resistance. Also, your friend, he looks at Vasul. It's going to be very easy to spot. Thankfully, the tunnels were built for very tall and grand, as he kind of smiles at Vasul.
Yeah.
Alright.
Man of many words.
When you three are ready, get whatever preparation you need in the city. I'm ready to head out now.
Well, I first gotta remake my bag of holding that you guys turned into that thing. I pointed the bag of devouring that is being held by Murderous.
Oh!
So I wasn't allowed to keep it.
No, yeah, I'm keeping that locked up. It's staying in the
Although-
bag. No one's touching it.
Although
alright.
we might want to try and get some of that ore out of there for me to experiment with in small quantities.
You are more than welcome to reach in whenever you want.
No, I was gonna ask the big fella to do it. It's gonna have a harder time eating him than me.
If he wants to take that risk, he can, but he knows what this item is.
I will do what I must.
Oh God.
Okay.
See, he's all for it. We might even end up with some explosives out of it.
Either way, we're doing it later.
That's fine.
Bardrus,
I'm gonna
please give me an Arcana check.
Oh no. 18.
Okay.
19.
Nothing seems to be wrong.
Oh dear God, I don't want to touch this thing anymore. Yeah, I'm putting it in a bag and isolating so I never have to touch it.
Okay. What kind of
Stay
bag?
away from anything I own.
What kind of bag are you
I'll
putting
put
in?
it in a little. I'll put it in a little sack that'll carry around.
Okay. All right. As you do so, setting it aside, nothing seems to happen.
I don't trust it.
I am going to get started on making that, as well as making the sending stones for everybody, so we each have one
Okay.
over
And
the week
remind
before
me,
we get too far.
for your sending stones, they go.
I was using the single fire ones from the Inquisitions
Yes,
Incorporated
Acquisitions Incorporated. Yes.
acquisitions.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Except with a small caveat of them being able to contact each other as well, so they're basically higher level than they would be, but
Okay. All right.
still uncommon magic items, so that we can contact each other.
Okay, that'll take you about 2 hours to make one for each of the party members.
I'll spend that time then remake my bag of holding.
Okay. All right. Brazzy, is there anything you'd like to do or prep while you're in this town?
Not particularly. I'd like to just maybe get a look around it and just kind of look around the town a little bit, maybe. Just
Okay.
get some information. And, of course, make sure my pet is well fed.
Okay. Yeah, your mount is currently out in the stables, although none of the stable boys were willing to go near it. They just kind of
understandable.
toss a few
Did
scraps.
we keep the Chimera, by the way?
No, the Chimera's gone.
Damn it!
And
I was gonna mount a catapult on the back of that.
You know, there is one thing I want to do in this DM.
Yes.
Like reach into my belt pouch.
All right. Give me a D100, please.
Okay.
Wild magic surge.
No. No.
That's a 60.
Okay, give me a D20 roll as well.
That's a 1.
Okay. Give me a minute. Let me find.
Okay. I will be back shortly.
Do you
I'm
need?
really head- No, Mom just got him. I gotta help her real quick.
No problem. All right, we'll deal with that in a sec then. Vasul, is there anything you would like to do, or is there anything you need to prepare?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. So Brazzy, I'm assuming Bardrus kind of sits with Tilcat and Vasul inside the bar while they watch Tilcat work away at his bag of holding and sending stones as he's working to enchant those. As you kind of head out, you can see that, yeah, the stable boys are throwing chunks of meat to your mount. However, they're not getting near it, but your mount seems completely happy with it.
That's fine.
Yeah. And what did you name your mount again?
Here, I have it written in my backstory. Let me pull that up real quick. I think I sent it to you. Yeah, I did send it to you. Let me... It is... Valeska.
Valeska? Okay. Yeah, Valeska is well fed. As you see a few scraps tossed over. Is it? I assume it's a she with that kind of name? Okay. Yeah, you see a few chunks of steak and what you assume is some sort of like rather weird meat, but it seems to be something that the other dwarves are eating. It just seems to be scraps of it. It's some sort of strange grayer meat, but Valeska seems very happy with it and seems to mow down, even devouring the bone. So.
Lovely.
Okay. As you head out, though, looking around, you see that this is a mining city, so this is definitely a dwarven outpost. Now, you're not very familiar with the Vedan, having not really traveled this far. You do notice these dwarves tend to be skinnier than the ones from your homelands, and they seem to be more like physically built, but less wide, more skinnier and a little bit taller. Not by much, to be honest. They're still dwarves. Looking around, you see that this is mostly seems to be mining castes, so these are what you'd equivalent to, merchants and serfs. Most of them seem to be going in and out of the mines, pushing rails, as there's rails everywhere with goods of ores and all that, moving about in giant carts, or giant metal carts, heading over to what looks to be a rather large dragon skull made out of a strange purple rock, where it looks to be that the forges are built. And you see a couple men in different types of armor, seem to be more like warrior casted like types, soldiers and such, kind of guarding and working the forge themselves. But everyone seems to be getting fair treatment. Nothing kind of catches your eye. There's no merchants really. Most of this town is just barracks and a few taverns here and there, and then the miners going about their business.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, okay. I want to kind of just head back to the tavern and just kind of listen around intently, specifically just how day-to-day life is going, and if there's any problems.
Okay, sounds
Simple enough. Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. Bardris.
Yeah.
You rolled a 1. So, the good news is you got something interesting.
It's a nuke.
It is not. So, this will be something I'll have to add to your character sheet later. But as you kind of go to pull out, you see that the bag kind of glows red for a second, and something hefty finds itself in your hand as you pull it out, and it's rather long. As you pull out a pearl-handled katar. Anyone hit by this weapon has a small chance of being struck with a sudden blinding vision of the future for 1d12 seconds.
Okay. Alright.
So I'm going to write that down and PM it to you just so you can keep track of this to remind me to make later. So, really quickly. And you can look up what a katar is later.
It's a short blade type thing.
Yeah, I know what it is.
1d12 chance. Oops. Has
It's used in mining as well, occasionally.
20 chance. Oops. D12 seconds into the future. Okay. So, there you go. That'll be the full customization of the item. Okay. Alright. So, as he pulls this out, and you guys, after a while, see Brazi comes back. About 2 hours pass as Brazi finally comes back after exploring the town. Tilcat is, at this point, done making his sending stones, as well has managed to recraft a bag of holding miner version. Tilcat, give me a d20 roll on that.
Okay. Let's see if this dice hates me today. That is a 16.
Okay, you get a bag of holding just as your enchantment, or just as your infusion states.
All right, I'll go set that up. I'll go absorb that infusion again.
Okay. All right. So as you lot start to get up and gather your gear, heading kind of outside, the Ogain is long gone at this point, back into the mines working with the miners, just as he was when Bardris and Tilcat showed up. You see that a few of the dwarven miners tossed a few brightly glowing red rocks off to the side, and a couple of smaller dwarves seem to grab it and run off with it, kind of ignoring it. And as you lot start to head for the air entrance to what is and let me make sure I've got the proper name for this, because there's actually a term I used. Give me a minute. Something. Okay. As you guys head into the rock bottom roads, as they're referred to by many of the dwarven cast here, you head towards the gate that heads further into the roads themselves. You see that this gate is rather rather glorified and very gorgeous to look at. The craftsmanship as you look at the arc that's carved into the stone, with golden inlay, platinum, silver designs of dwarves fighting off hordes of enemies, and pushing them back further into what looks to be these roads. Looking into the roads themselves from where you're standing, this gate is huge. It's around 35 feet wide and almost about 75 feet tall. This overarching seems to, all the stone seems to be very well chiseled, with golden inlays for almost to hold these like brick-like materials together as the stone changes from marble to slate to granite, looking around as you go further in. The roads themselves are paved with designs of diamond shaping, where each stone or each brick is inlaid with a little bit of platinum and strange runes drawn onto them that seem to light up the further you go in, causing anybody who doesn't have dark vision to still be able to see within 30 feet of them. The tunnels themselves, as you guys head in, about an hour in, seem to darken slowly as more and more of these bricks on the ground are broken. More walls seem to be slightly caved in. The arches that seem to have been supporting them seem to have been cracked. And you start to see strange markings on the wall. Some that are just as simple as black handprints. Some that are as very rudimentary designs of what looks to be some strange humanoid creature cutting off shorter humanoid creatures' heads. On occasion, you'll find a dwarven skull on a spike here and there, but no bodies anywhere to be found. Yes.
Since I've been around the orcs before, do they look like orc war drawings?
This is probably what you, from your experience traveling through the orc lands, give me a history check.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if you can remember anything.
21.
Okay. So in your experience, most orc artists, for what pass for artists at the very least in the orcish lands, are actually have a strange glamour to their designs. They are rather great looking to the grotesque interest. Skull statue, or they'll have small statues and carvings from bones and meats of different animals and such. But these seem to be more rudimentary in design. If you had to guess, these could be probably more of the common orcish warrior or maybe a child drawings of these designs. But they do seem to fit the very simple and grotesque designs of what is orc culture. And that is orc
others,
with a K.
Look at the others and simply go, yep, these were orc done. That's with a K. And it's either a child or a warband. And I'm not gonna say that a child wouldn't decapitate somebody, but I don't think it's a child in this case.
Okay. And everyone, either give me a perception check, or if your passive perception is higher, feel free to use that.
You got it.
19 for my perception.
Okay.
23.
We'll go with the 15 passive perception.
Also, I pass out everyone. I pass ascending stone to everybody.
Okay.
That'd be a 13.
Okay. I see you rolled a 6 normally. Okay. So you all start to realize something is watching you. And seems to be, you can feel someone else's presence nearby.
Do I smell something off?
So from your perception check, the smell in the air seems to be very copper-like, and seems to smell of old death.
Okay.
I am climbing onto Shin's shoulders,
Okay.
getting off the ground,
Okay.
onto my guardian.
Okay. At this point, you can see up ahead down the road, again, many of the tiles having been broken, but those who have dark vision can clearly see that the columns that would normally hold up the walls here and there seem to have completely caved in and fallen down. It's going to be rough terrain from here on out. You can also see that there are 2 or 3 forks, it looks like, up ahead that would go in different directions. And Ogain never mentioned having to take a different, or going off in a side path. So.
And he probably didn't think to give us a map.
Nope. But Bardris has a map, because he actually did take one down. Him and Caspian got one down before they
Yes.
set up the city. And there's no showing of any side paths.
Arcana?
Okay, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
That's a 9.
Alright, give me 1 second.
Do you want an actual wizard to try the Arcana?
You sense magic all around you.
Okay. Lovely.
I'll attempt that Arcana check as well.
Okay.
14.
14. You can sense magic all around you.
Okay.
And as you guys continue heading further and further into the tunnels, looking off to the side paths, you start to see that many of them seem to be miners' tunnels, as these aren't as well designed, and you can see even exposed ore in some cases in certain areas. Ores you've never seen before, greens of sickly colors, blues as deep as the ocean itself. Having never seen many of these, none of you know what they do.
Pulls out my diary, makes a note, come back for samples. Actually, wait. I'm gonna look at them and be like, should we grab samples of these? Since I don't know what they are, you all don't know what they are. Be a good idea to get some.
No. Later.
Grab what you like. I'm not touching it.
Later. No. Later.
Oh, Bardrus, give me a d20 roll, please.
Okay. That's a 12.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
I'll
Look,
split off from the group.
Empowering bag.
Wait for me while I grab samples. I'm gonna grab a small sample of each
Okay.
as we go.
As
Give him
you...
the sack back to Cameron. He can carry it.
You're giving the bag back to Tailcat?
Yeah, in the sack. I'm not carrying this thing any longer. You keep making me make rolls. I don't like it.
Okay, I'll pop it. I'm gonna just pop it into. I'm tying it on a rope, and I'm tying the rope to Shin's back and making sure that there's a buffer between him and it.
Okay. Assumingly, your steel defender would be carrying your backpack, given your general strength score. So, assumedly, you could definitely tie a string onto it, and then just kind of have it bouncing off of the backpack, basically.
Yep.
Okay. So as you go up, as the party kind of stops and waits, as you head down one of the side tunnels, it's only about 20 feet from the rest of the party as you head over. Looking around, you can see that there are definitely two other paths that seem to have branched off that look to have been like completely broken, unorganized mining as they seem to go at strange angles, both splitting off, one left and one right.
Do they look anywhere similar to the mines that we saw back in the mining camp?
No, these don't even look to be dwarven, in fact, because most, from your experience so far, most dwarven mines are very well organized and typically very well reinforced. You can't see even the slightest piece of wood down there looking like it's holding up the tunnel.
Good to know.
As you walk up, seeing a couple of these ores, go ahead and give me a strength check to mine it out.
Okay. Since I'll probably use
and
my...
do you have a pickaxe?
No, I was going to be using my dart, because it's a piercing weapon, so it should work as an impromptu one.
Okay.
May break it, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, strength check. 14.
Okay.
I get no bonus to strength.
Alright, just check my notes. Okay. As you go to, which of the two ores are you going to first?
I'd be going towards the green one first.
Okay. So as you go to kind of, take off a small piece, doing so, you, smell a strange, you manage to chip a tiny piece off, and a strange smell kind of comes off of it, smelling of almost like rotten cheese. At that same time, do any of you have anything that is combustible on you?
See, this is why I didn't want you to do it, but you did it anyways. I have 2 torches on me.
Okay. But you
Actually,
have dark
I have a
vision, so you're
torch.
fine.
I have a torch, but it's like, of course, unlit right
Okay.
now.
I mean, like, I have
I've
a
got-
tiny little tinderbox, but I don't think that actually.
I've got torches as well. I don't have anything else.
I
Okay.
don't think it's really a
Torches
yeah,
and tinderbox.
No, because
Yeah.
the tinderbox says all it has. At most, I have a tiny little piece of
Okay.
cloth. That could set on
So
fire.
as it falls onto the ground, the smell just continues to emanate from it.
I'm getting away. I'm walking away. No.
You guys are all about 10 feet away
You
from
guys
him.
are far enough away. If anyone's gonna die, it's me.
No,
Leave
I don't
me
care. Anything that
alone.
smells like that, I don't want to be near it. I'm walking away. I'm
I'm
continuing.
gonna take
I don't
it
know if
and
I
put it in the
would.
bag of holding, and then go to the other piece and
Okay.
do the same thing.
Okay.
I got the map. I'm walking.
And Vasul, what were you saying?
I don't like. I feel like I would smell that, but I wouldn't like the smell anyways, even though I
You
didn't know
smell
what it was.
so much worse because you're a giant elephant.
Yeah,
My
the
keen smell.
actually Vasul, give me a history check real quick.
Oh, you might know what this is.
Oh, look at this
Wait,
negative
could I-
one roll.
This is my archaeology
I,
background.
it's a 13 roll.
Okay, I'm gonna message you something.
Can I make a roll for this with archaeology?
Sure.
Okay. What do you want me to roll?
I'm gonna say history with advantage.
I don't. Okay, that's a 22. Let's see if I can do better with flat 20. No, all right, 22.
Uh,
That was almost the max. 23 was my max, but you know, close enough.
and okay.
I've studied a lot of things. It was. Oh yeah, no, I'm good. It should be safe enough for you to carry, but I'm not touching it.
I'm putting it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
You know what, I as the archaeologist scholar, I'm gonna give him fair warning what it is, because I've read this in a book. Do you want to know what it is, Tilcat?
Yeah.
It's sulfur.
Ah, perfect.
Also, Tilcat, give me a d20 roll.
So you are going to stay at least 50 feet away from the party in case you explode.
Oh, he only took a small. From what you can tell, Bardras, given your roll, that he didn't
11.
take enough more than to light himself on fire. That's but the explosion wouldn't be more than a foot.
Can I check to know what this other one is? Before he touches it?
Tilcat, an 11. Okay, nothing
Yep.
happens. Yeah. Go ahead and give me another roll with advantage.
With advantage or without?
Yep, with advantage.
My better was a 16.
All right, give me a second. Let me find it.
Explosive, and what else we got? God.
Okay. All right. This
Wait
one
for the head.
doesn't have a smell to it, thankfully.
The longer you take to type, the more worried I get.
Oh no, it's just I was trying to remember what it was called. I had to look it up for a
Oh.
second.
That's actually pretty cool. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So that's apparently, supposedly, no one really knows. Apparently, it amplifies water magic. Again, supposedly. That's more hearsay.
I'm gonna look at the locks it on, be like, hey, big fella, can you get a bigger chunk of this one?
Now we can get more on our way back.
Well,
No.
if we come back through here.
No.
I will also
There's
mention
no other-
for all the party at this point, you also notice that Brazi has been for the last hour riding a very large spider.
I mean, good for him.
That's-
I'm riding a horse. I'm riding
Well-
a horse made of necrotic energy. Good for him.
I'm just making sure to add that for the ambiance. Thank you.
I'm riding a fucking robot's shoulders.
But yeah, that
The
was
only one
all.
not riding anything is the elephant, who's just kind of walking. But he's big enough himself. He's fine.
And I'm still shorter than the goddamn elephant.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Vasul, are you gonna help Tilcat out by carving off a giant chunk of this?
No.
I will tell you, it's not dangerous to mine, knowing what it is. The other one is, but that one's not. At least from what I know about it.
Which is nothing.
Which isn't much. All I know is its name and what it supposedly does.
So Vasul, what are you doing?
Sorry, apparently I was on mute.
No worries.
I'm going to, take about a handful size. Not going to grab a lot.
Okay.
I'd like to give him the help action.
Okay. All right. So as you head down, I mean, the smell from the sulfur gets much stronger the closer you get to it. Naturally, given your very sensitive nose. Yes, it will continue. But as you walk up, how are you going to crack off a piece of this?
An interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a pickaxe.
Well, I could use your pickaxe if you'd lend it to
You
me.
can gladly take the pickaxe.
All right.
Sure.
As you take this dwarven-sized pickaxe that you can wield in one hand,
It's better than nothing, alright?
go ahead and give me a strength check, please, to see
I
how
want
much.
that pick back afterwards, please.
you can pull off of
Yeah,
this.
sure. 19.
Jesus. Yeah, you crack into it, and about the 1 foot sized chunk all around comes breaking off in jagged pieces. Water starts spewing from the stone in the wall slightly, just a trickle, but the piece of ore falls to the ground.
I
could
pick
have
it
your
up and put it in a
pickaxe.
bag of holding
Okay.
after putting it in a separate bag.
All right, give me a d20 roll, Tilcat.
That's a 9.
Okay. All right. So yes, you can now add a 5 pounds of water quartz to your inventory,
good.
Tilcat. Also, as you look, Bardris, Vasul has pretty much managed to break the top or the tip of the pick completely.
It's fine. I can fix it later.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, big fella.
And I'm just gonna say a pinch of silver.
Okay. All
Don't
right,
worry. Me and this elephant will be the best of friends later. It's fine.
Vasul.
Alright, let's keep going.
Vasul and Tilcat, I will mention as you look down, or as you walk back, seeing the two tunnels kind of separating off there, very jagged and very seem to be chaotic looking. You can see further down the one heading towards the city of Woden seems to have something very shiny and sparkly inside of it. Further, about half a mile down.
Ooh.
I don't
see
trust
that
the
big
random
fella?
sparkly thing. No.
That's what you call a danger, but a risk. That's what you call a risk, and it's
Look.
not worth it right now. We'll get it on the way back. That one's too far.
Alright. We're gonna keep going.
No
Bruh.
support's dangerous.
God damn it.
Look, you don't touch
It-
the random sparkly thing in the cave that you don't know what it is. It's not
You don't touch it. You leave that for someone like me to touch it.
Yeah,
You
you
shouldn't go
study
touch it.
You're not touching it.
Vasul is the support beam.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. We're going.
Okay. And Brazi, good choice in music right now.
Thank you.
Heading, going back to the original path, heading further in. At this point, you will be considered on difficult terrain, so you'll be at half speed. Heading, kind of pushing past the pillars. Are you guys just gonna walk around them or over them? You gonna have Vasul try and push them out of the way?
Around is easiest.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to.
Continuing to walk, heading down further and further. Tilcat, give me a d20 roll.
I don't like these, but you know what? That's a 2.
Can't wait for you to die.
It's a 2? Okay.
Yeah.
Bardris, give me a d20 roll.
Why am I making a D20? Oh. Okay. Roll. 11.
Okay.
How come I feel like we're rolling for wild magic surges?
I feel like it's gonna activate on a 1 because it didn't do anything on a 2.
Alright, as you guys head further into it, you're starting to see more and more destroyed shafts of the mine. You're seeing more and more branches off that seem to be very chaotic. And as you lot continue looking around, you can kind of start to see there are, on occasion you see a scale here and there that's on the ground.
Picking them up.
Oh, you're gonna pick it up? Okay. These look to be green, and when you look at them, give me an investigation check.
Oh, good. Good. The one int skill I didn't throw anything into.
If he fails to get it, I'll do a check.
That's a 4. That's a not 14. That's a 4 plus 11. Geez, 15. Not bad.
That is a Yuan-Ti scale.
Oh god.
Vasul, you know exactly what these are.
Just so your enemies here.
Might want to collect these. They also give resistance to certain poisons.
Vasul man.
Vasul just breathe out his nose with a large thing of air.
With my background as a scholar, would I know about the whole Yuan-Ti versus
Nope.
No?
It is not
That'd be more of
documented.
a cultural thing.
Would I know based on my extensive knowledge on tales of...
You know what, Brazi? Give me a history check. Let's see if you can.
Sweet.
I mean, the DC is going to be very high, but you can still attempt.
15?
No, you don't know. I mean, this is the first time you've seen a Loxodon, to be honest.
I want to give him the help option to let him try again.
Okay, go ahead and try again, Brazi.
No.
No?
That you lower damn. No, it was worth a shot.
Alright, yeah, no. Vasul, as you're looking at this, these scales seem to be of a, and let me pull up the proper name for the hive. Give me 1 minute. I have this. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Do I have the name of them? Give me a minute. I actually may have forgotten to write these down. I'm gonna be so sad if I actually did. Oh, yes. You recognize this as one of the green blood, which is one of the 3 main hives of the Yuan-Ti.
Bad.
You don't like them, Vasul?
Bad.
Understood.
Still, we should collect those scales that have fallen off, because they can be made into armor, or may have use for potions.
Yeah, if you want to grab them, grab them. I don't think Vasul wants to be made of his enemy.
I'll be collecting them as we go.
Okay. About 2 hours in, you manage to collect around 45 of them. Now, these aren't very large, but you probably guess to make a full set of scale mail, you're going to need about 100. So, but they all seem to be of the same color.
Look, if there's scales here, there you want to nearby, we'll probably have to fight them. You'll get them.
That's true. All right. As the day.
Hey, big guy, you want to skin a few of them for me?
I don't want to touch them.
He's asking if you want to skin a live one after you kill it, not.
We shall see.
Okay.
Vasul, the soft-spoken giant. As you guys continue heading further in, day turns to night, night turns to day. Down here, it's impossible to tell the time. Only person who...
Note to self, get a fucking watch.
Bardris, give me a stone cunning roll, which I believe, in your case, would be investigation for stone cunning, I believe, for dwarves.
Is it? Let me make sure. Where's stone coming?
You can't be a mason, but you know about masonry.
Yeah, 'cause I'm a dwarf. That's. Whenever you proficient in the history skill, it's history.
Okay, then give me a history check. That's fine.
Way better than me than what the other one was, but it doesn't matter because I rolled a 9.
Yeah, you're not sure how many days you've been down here after a while. You lot continue to travel.
However.
Yes.
I get an idea. Shin, what time is it? Look at my construct.
It looks
Pulls out sundial. It's dark.
Pulls out caved sundial. It's night.
Give me a D20 roll, Tilcat.
13.
Okay. Yeah, no, Shin knows nothing, as it seems to look at you confused. Alright.
Yourself get more of time to put on you.
As the time goes on, you lot spend about 2 weeks continuing down this road as it gets more and more difficult to traverse, but no enemies so far, and less markings or dead bodies. Well, actually, the absence of bodies altogether. About on the last day of your second week of traveling,
While traveling, I probably...
you all notice that you can see off in the distance, about 5 miles away, what looks to be a rather large doorway. The doors themselves seem to be made of simple wood of some sort. None of you recognize this wood from this far away. They just look to be two big brown squares. The city, though, it seems to have the entrance seems to have 2 dwarves on either side, each holding what looks to be a pickaxe in one hand and a lantern in the other, which seems to still be glowing with a strange purple flame. You can tell that the doors look to be somewhat broken and splintered just because you can see holes in them completely. And you can see something seems to be moving far off in the distance. You've managed to make it within about a day's travel at max to the city of Woden.
That's good. Here comes the dangerous part. Actually,
While we were traveling, I would have tried to make more sending stones. That way we might. That way, if anybody decides to be an idiot and lose theirs, I have spares.
Okay. You managed to make another 4. As on the move, it's a lot more difficult to do so.
That is fine.
Also, give me another d20 roll.
I can't wait for him to fail one. Just to see what happens.
18.
Okay. Alright. So, as you lot continue, are now about, at most, a day's worth travel from this, from the entrance to the city. Is there anything you'd like to do last minute before you can make camp?
I'm gonna take a look at Vasul's weapons and offer to enchant his hammer with heat metal.
I do not oppose.
Okay.
I'll get
You
to
gonna hand
work
out the sending stones?
I already said I handed out you guys.
Yeah, each of you have 1 sending stone currently.
And I explained they can connect to each other. We all can talk as a group. Otherwise, I don't know what else they can do. If you tap into someone else's sending stone network, don't question it at this point. It's temperamental at best.
Alright. What will you be naming this weapon, Tilcat?
I'll call it Snake Smasher.
Okay. Give me a moment to create something up while you all...
Snake.
And give me a d20 roll, please.
That is a 15.
Okay. Alright, so... let me just make this item really quick.
I'd also try and throw a single charge of shield onto the very handle.
Okay.
That way, and I'll tell him that I'll be like, you have 1 charge of shield. Be careful with it. Use it in an emergency. I don't know when it'll come back.
Alright.
As I'm a moron, what is shield?
It is a emergency spell that increases your AC for 1 turn
Okay.
until the start of your next turn. It's a reaction spell.
Give me a moment, and you'll be getting this here in a second.
It gives you 5 bonus AC.
Ooh.
And if
So
someone
when you
uses
when
magic,
you really think you don't want to be hit by something, that's not.
I am bulletproof.
that isn't an AoE spell, then yeah. Also, you are bulletproof because magic missile does 0 damage to you because of this.
While the shield is up, yeah.
While the shield is up.
Alright. Let me go ahead.
Now all I need is the.
We
The
need to get you a
charge feat.
Natasha.
God damn it. Alright, and then, Brazi, is there anything you wanted to do, while everyone is kind of sitting for a minute to, get some stuff?
Let's see. So, do we have any information about the interior of this place?
You have the map that, Bardris has been carrying.
We got the layout. I've been carrying it.
Yeah, so...
Well,
We don't
let's
know
take a look
what's-
at that before we actually get in.
I'll lay that out for everyone to look at, but we don't know numbers or anything of enemies. So
That's
this
fine.
is cool.
Let's take a look at it before we actually go in.
Okay.
Also, if we stay far enough away, I might be able to coax them into coming out a bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
Minor illusion, something outside, make it look something
Maybe.
that shouldn't
Maybe.
be there.
It's probably not going to work out in our favor, though. They're most likely going to stay inside as they have the defensive advantage, and we are the people actually trying to go inside. If they would not leave, most likely.
Unless it was something very insulting.
It's still probably not. But
Even then,
God damn it.
let's. Yeah.
Let me see if this thing will... For some reason, this item doesn't seem to want to load, even though I have just made it. God damn it. I love D&D
Yeah.
Beyond, and it's fuck up.
important question, Dan, because this will tell me a lot.
Vasul's warhammer evaporates.
Yep.
No.
It has ceased to exist as Tilcat works on it.
I wanted to ask what rarity that guitar was that I got.
Sorry, the rarity on that? You wouldn't know. You've
Yeah,
never
'cause I
seen
was
this
gonna say,
item.
It didn't
I'm-
destroy itself when I touched it, so that'll tell me what gets destroyed and what doesn't when I touch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at him and I'll look at Barges and be like, if you want that weird knife you got out of your belt, then I'll identify it after I'm done.
I mean, he already knows what it does. What the fuck? Why won't this fucking look? God, I fucking swear to God, D&D Beyond. Fucking fix your goddamn servers. Fuck's sake, I'm so tired of this bullshit.
If they did that, then they wouldn't be able to annoy you like this.
It's fucking irritating. It's really gonna irritate me. Like, that was the whole reason I did this, was so I could make items really quickly. Because I've got the item fucking loaded, but no, it doesn't want to fucking work now. There we go, finally, thank you.
You now have... I'll hand it back to him and be like, this is Snake Smasher.
God, was that so fucking difficult for the thing?
The head will heat up when you smash it, when you go to hit things.
There you go, you should be able to refresh your character sheet and see it now.
Sick.
So.
And you can cast shield from it once, to my knowledge.
One time.
As you look it over, it gives you 1 charge of heat metal and 1 charge of shield. So you can use the charges on both of one or the other. Well, this is your choice. But you have 2 charges.
I can work on it more later when we're in better conditions to try and make it more powerful, but I think that'll be strong enough for right now.
No worries. Thank you.
Think we'll come again.
Wait, also, can I see one of your javelins for a moment?
I swear to God, Cameron, I will kill you right now. Fuck off.
I was just gonna put catapult on it to make it fly faster.
No, I'm not letting that fucking run now.
Moving on.
We
Alright.
can do it later.
Alright, that was gonna be a good test or something else I was working on.
Alright. As you lot are looking about, looking at the map that Barges pulls out, you notice that the city outline has now appeared. You can see the full city itself. You can see that most of the city seems to have collapsed in on itself as a sort of semi-3D model seems to pop up off the map and has moved.
Glad you didn't tell me that you had a magical map.
You didn't ask.
Secretly, Bardris didn't know he had a magical map either.
Yeah, no.
So,
I have a map.
are you going to pull out your map, Vasul?
Yes, my poorly wrought map.
Is poorly made now.
Okay. It is, as you look at it, it looks to be like he's been drawing squiggly lines on the map left and right.
Has he traced where we came from poorly?
You know,
No, he's had this. This isn't a new
It's
item.
poorly wrought maps from my homeland.
it's
He's
just,
from here. This
from
is
what
how
you
it's
can
Just the
tell,
Dwarven Empire.
what you can tell from this drawing is it's just a bunch of squiggly lines. They make no sense to anybody else other than Vasul.
I'm gonna give Vasul a thumbs up and be like, as long as you don't get lost then, Val.
Never.
We're gonna lose him in this city somehow. And it's-
So
He's gonna wander off like a lost
as you
child.
look, the city seems to pop up. It looks to be a sort of tiered city with 2 tiers overall. It seems to have an upper district where the castle is and most of the main shops are, and it seems to have a lower portion where it looks to have a lot more design for defenses and routing enemies. As you notice, about half the city, almost completely split in half, is completely collapsed currently. You can see what looks to be some sort of flowing liquid seems to be kind of protruding through the city streets. You can't identify, as it just shows that it's moving liquid. It doesn't show what it is. You do notice that some of the city is actually hard to even make out on the map, and you're not sure what the interference is from. And lastly, you can tell that from this entrance, you would be going directly into what looks to be one of the very large lakes of some sort of liquid that has encompassed one of the lower districts.
I'm gonna look at our archaeologist. Give
Yes?
us your best guess on what the liquids are, and I'll give my best guess on what the interference
Alright,
is.
that's when- So when he says that, damn, I'd like to flip my my magical coin.
Okay, give me a d20 roll first.
Well, it's technically not magic. You
I know.
that, right? Making sure.
Mm-hmm.
18.
18? Okay. And as you flip your coin, give me a d4 roll, please.
I already did.
And that is...
Indeterminate. It doesn't know.
Okay.
However, yeah, I'll actually check what you want to do. Check what the liquid was. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. I can see if I can figure it out. Kim, I've never been here before.
I'm gonna roll an Arcana check to try and figure out what might be causing interference. I already have two main ideas though.
Okay.
I guess I'll roll history to find out what the liquid is.
All right.
That is a 25 for Arcana.
Okay.
It's an 11.
Okay. First off, so for Bardris, yeah, this is pretty obviously probably lava. Lava
Yeah.
or water, underground lake, one of the two, like water.
Well, no matter what it is, you definitely shouldn't touch it, is what I'll give you between the two things I think it is.
With a 25 in Arcana, Tailcat, this could be a number of ores, that could cause this. You have no idea which one would, directly, but there's a long list, and all of them could be easily found in these lands. This
There's
deep
a
underground.
long list of ores. There's also the chance that it's something that's just blocking scrying. Yeah, that warfare that's happening over in the east is starting to bother shit over here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our options for that interference.
Well,
Awesome.
whatever it is, we have no way of dealing with it.
If we can't do anything about it, there's no need to worry about it.
Okay, and then Tailcat, you also noticed something separately that I just messaged you.
That gives me an idea.
Okay.
I'm going to take the back of devouring off
Okay.
of
Where it was tied on the sack.
where it was
Yeah.
tied. I'm going to look at everybody and be like, we have another option. We offer this to them, and I'm gonna do something. I set the bag of devouring down, and I carve a rune on. I start enchanting a rock with
Mhm.
a storage spell, so it'll pop open and store stuff in it.
Okay.
You're not doing what I think you're doing, are you?
I'm gonna give them both of these, and tell them the rock is the key to opening the bag. It needs to be put in the bag.
How
I am
stupid
then
do
going
you
to
think?
book my ass away.
How stupid do you think these people are?
If it's an orc, I respect them enough to say that they're probably gonna fall for it.
Well,
Dan,
look.
what do I?
history, Brazzy.
Sorry.
What do
Even
I?
if it is-
One sec, Bardris. Brazzy, what's up?
How do I? What do I know about the orcs?
These orcs?
Yeah.
Give me a history check.
I would like to also do a history check on
That
those.
would be an 8, so probably not that much.
They're big, they're green, and they're meaner than the ones you know.
Yeah, no, ignore that.
Okay.
I say.
Can I roll a history check to make sure my plan is intact?
Your plan is intact. That would have nothing to do with whether the plan is intact and the ability to execute said plan.
No. So, like I
So-
was saying to
And
Brazzy,
because we're getting rid of this either way, I point at the bag of holding. Because it's doing something that I'm not going to tell you about till after it's gone, so you guys can't blame me, because I didn't cause this.
I'll still probably blame you.
Then you can carry it.
No.
Then shut up.
No.
okay, so like I was saying to Brazzy, even if the plan fails, well, we're gonna have to fight our way through anyway, so it doesn't really hurt our chances afterwards.
Or we could maybe do this a little bit more cautiously. We don't even know what's inside. We don't even know the troop count in there.
Yeah. Do you want to try to sneak in? Go ahead. I don't think me or the elephant are going to be very useful for reconnaissance.
I'm
That
not
would-
going to be that stealthy either, because I'm not leaving Shin behind.
Please
Yeah.
allow me as I bow over to them and
Yeah,
I
we'll-
start
we'll wait
going
here.
on forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna be walking up with Shin, but I'm gonna try and look like a merchant.
I'm not taking my spider with me.
I was
My
about to
spider's
ask.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
I'll
not
be
taking
watching
my
from a
spider with
distance.
me,
If I have
Okay.
to, I'll charge in.
and I'm keeping stepping into the mist
Mm-hmm.
at ready to cast in the smallest sign of life.
Okay.
I'm walking up trying to look like a merchant with
Okay.
Shin carrying the chest for serving.
I'm not going anywhere near
I-
that, and I'm keeping the elephant here with me.
I'm going to suggest that you all don't go near that thing, near the entrance. I want you all relatively far away, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Well-
and I want to make sure that you are all aware that if they see us, we lose the element of surprise.
I'll dip
Over
off into
here.
one of these side caves then.
Oh,
And I'm gonna start to bury the bag of devouring.
Good.
You want
Fucking
to
wasting-
cunning, sneaky people.
Fucking
Be
waste of a
careful.
good bag of holding.
Thank
I'm
you.
still keeping the small stone that's enchanted with storage that can't do anything.
Okay.
'Cause it's
Thank you.
stupid.
So
Thank you, Elephant.
as Brazzy heads off, Brazzy, give me a stealth check, please.
Of course. That's a pretty good one. 20.
Okay. And then Tilcat heads down one of the side tunnels to bury this thing. Is that
Yep.
correct? Okay.
I'll keep an eye on him from a distance. I
How
don't want him to
Tilcat?
die.
How far away are you going?
I'm going about 40 feet from the party because
Okay.
I don't want to risk them accidentally digging this up. I will also warn the dwarves when we get back that there's a bomb placed somewhere on the road that we learned
Don't
of.
tell them that, and they're gonna be mad at us.
And
we
then
couldn't disarm it. Good luck.
and then Bardrus and Vasul, are you staying behind and hiding behind a couple of the pillars? What's the plan?
Yeah, we'll get somewhere we can't be seen and kind
Yeah,
of just.
that's
That's if he
really
wants to come in.
Okay.
Painting this tool to look like one of the pillars.
We'll be close enough.
Technically-
What do you mean make it look like it? I'll make one
No.
with my ingrained stoneworking
Okay,
knowledge.
we'll hide near enough that Brazzy will be able to find us if he comes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of pushing back toward a few feet behind one of the bigger pillars that has collapsed on top of a rather large boulder that is big enough to hide Vasul, given he is a rather big target. Vasul, what color of an elephant are you? Are you just gray?
I am a white elephant.
Okay, so yeah, Vasul, this boulder's big enough to hide your very luminescent skin. You're like a ginger in the night. Truly, you are going to be spotted anywhere you go. So as you kind of hide back there, as you lot sit down, Bardrus, are you going to be doing anything in the meantime while you guys are sitting there?
Actually, am I close enough to see any of the stonework and such done by that city?
I mean, you can see the entrance, and you can see holes in the door. That's really not...
That is all I need. I'm going to use my archaeologist feature.
Okay, and that is?
You can correctly ascertain the original purpose and determine its builders, whether dwarves, elves, humans, yuan-ti, or some other known race. And you can determine the monetary value of art, but that doesn't really help.
Okay.
So I can determine everything about it.
So before Brazzy walks off, you learn that this is a city that was built for miners. This was a city of mining. This was built by dwarves that are unnamed, but they are by the Vidan. And let me see if I can find anything else. Yes, the statues are to represent the two statues. The art pieces are to represent a few of the what are considered the lowest class of citizen, known simply as the rock drifters, and they're basically sacrificed to help mine out the city. Many of them were killed in the process of making the city.
Okay. And I'll, of
How
course,
much are
write
the
that in my
statues
little
worth?
book titled Dwarven Empire.
Yeah, this is the Vidan Empire, yeah. Dwarf, remember, in their language is spelled as the Vidan, or in common is spelled as the Vidan.
Yeah, but I wrote Dwarven in parentheses because that's what it's known as on the map, and
Yes.
inside of it, it'll mark it at the very first page, the Dan.
Yes, okay.
So people know what it is.
Okay, no issues.
Can we get an estimation on on the value of those statues?
I can only do the value of art.
They are art. And so the value on both these statues, which are about 12 feet tall a piece and about 6 feet wide, they would probably fetch you about 100 gold pieces because they're very simple pieces. But they
Yeah,
are
it's worth
holding
moving that thing around then.
they are holding a lot of weight up right now. Okay.
Yeah, so
We'll come back to Tilcat after Brazzy. So Brazzy, after hearing this, basically hearing that what the history of these pieces of art are. How are you going to head in? Are you just going to head in directly towards the doors? There are a bunch of side tunnels, but you can't see any that lead directly towards the city.
Let's see. Let's see. Side tunnels. No, I'll keep going through the main
Okay.
one. But I still, of course, want to keep a lookout for traps and any signs of life.
Okay, give me an investigation check then.
That would be a 17.
Okay. that as you're kind of walking around, kind of moving in and out of these pillars, you do notice these pillars are been kind of collapsed in a way to funnel troops better. And given your experience, being more of a roguish person and not being an idiot, really, you realize, yeah, there are plenty of very simple spike traps that are sent up that are very easily to see by anybody with the basis of intelligence. As you are managing to walk past them and walk around them, they are simply look to be set up to trigger on very simple string traps or string what do you call them?
Tripwires.
Tripwires. Thank you. Yeah, seem to be just on simple tripwires to cue them up, and they seem to be just wooden spikes carved into the ground.
Okay. Could I perhaps disarm them easily?
Oh,
Or would it
yes.
be more difficult?
Honestly, just cutting the string seems to be all you'd need to do to disarm these.
All right, I'm going to disarm them.
As you go. Okay. It'll take you another about 20 minutes of walking as you're kind of disabling these. You get through most of the traps that you could find. There doesn't seem to be any clever ones. You do find one that makes you laugh as it's a dwarven skull inside of a little, what do you call it? Bear trap. But otherwise, and it was out in the open, very easily seen. Even triggering that with just a simple pebble doesn't seem to do anything or set off any alarms. And causes the trap to smash itself, as it seemed to be very crude in its design. As you continue heading closer and closer, you can see two guards. Simple, common orcs by the looks of them, both here holding wooden spears, having a couple javelins on their backs, and what looks to be another something of a great sword to most likely on their backs. Harder to tell from this distance as they're both staring out towards your direction. Neither seem to have noticed you in the slightest, and you're about 50 feet from them at this point.
I'm about 50 feet from them.
Yes.
Do I see any other orcs?
No, but you can see through the holes now more clearly, and you can see a very large lava lake on the other side of these of the door.
Okay. Could I get through these orcs relatively easily, or would it be quite the feat?
You'd probably have to kill them, your guess, unless you can roll well enough on your stealth to not be seen.
Okay. Okay. Hi there. Let's see. Could I perhaps cast Stepping into the Mist and sort of like teleport behind them without it alerting them?
Yeah,
Would it alert them?
you could. If they can sense your Arcana, they could.
They probably won't be able to sense my Arcana. Yeah. Okay. So I'll give that a shot then.
Okay. Let me give them Arcana checks real quick. Give me one moment to pull that up. And you will see my rolls here in a second. Okay, so it is an int-based skill. Alright, well, that one obviously doesn't see anything, and that one doesn't either. Okay, so, no, yeah, you're, oh, here, actually, to be fair, let me roll them proper for you so you guys can see. No, especially the second one, you notice he seems to be wearing glasses that seem to be similar to yours, but seem to be very tinted, not because he can't see in the dark or can't stand the sun, but more because he's just an idiot. Yeah,
My kind of guy.
these glasses seem to almost fully blind him as he's standing there, and doesn't seem to know. Yeah, you can pretty much stealth, or as you manage to get past both of them, you're standing in between the two of them at the door at this point, and neither seem to have noticed you.
All right. I would like to sort of. What could you kind of describe what's near me besides the orcs, of course?
So both you got 5 feet from you on both sides is the orcs. They're diagonal from you.
Okay.
You can see that the stairway behind you, which is about 5 stairs up, for someone like Vasul, it's 1 step up. You have 2 rather large statues, as I described earlier. The 2 statues depicting miners holding a pickaxe in one hand and a giant, what looks to be sort of lantern with purple flame coming off of it. That you definitely sense Arcana coming from it. Some sort of flame spell from what you can tell. And then looking in beyond the 2 giant wooden doors that you now realize are about 65 feet tall and about 20 feet wide. You can definitely easily see as these doors have been smashed through and broken pretty badly as you got closer to them. the giant lava lake on the other side, but definitely a route that seems to have been carved through the lava and set down so that way you could walk across it like stepping stones past the lava lake. It just seemed to have been slightly hidden from the way the door was angled and how it was not broken. Looking past that, you can see there's about a size of an orc patrol, about 3 to 6 people walking through. It's kind of hard to make their numbers from this distance and the glare from the lava.
Okay. Okay. So, just for confirmation, there's a door, and there's a sort of lava pool with stepping stones across it.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all I really caught.
And then the orc patrol that seems to be off in the distance that you can't tell if it's about 3 or 6 at this point.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go towards I'll go through the what do you call it? The lava place.
Okay.
Like not literally swim fucking through the lava, but
All right, Snicknish. Okay. As you head off, we'll come back to you in a moment.
Okay.
Tilcat. So as you walk off about 40 feet down this mining tunnel, give me a perception check.
17.
Okay. The smell of rotten eggs seems to get stronger and stronger going into this area. You start to notice that, there's sulfur, but there's also what you realize are what looks to be diamonds stuck into the wall that are surrounded by the sulfur.
Oh, okay. Hold on. How heavy are these diamonds looking?
You don't know. You can't see the full diamond. You can see that they look to be about 4 inches in diameter from where you're looking at them, but they could be bigger. You don't know. You'd have to chip away at them to find out.
I'm gonna cast catapult on one of the diamonds to make it fly towards me.
Okay, give me one moment.
If it weighs more than 5 pounds, then it can't be done.
I know.
The diamonds are in the wall, right? Like,
yes.
all right.
They are in the wall, surrounded by sulfur that is also in the wall.
This was the only way I could think of doing it without making sparks.
Egg diamonds.
Give me a D20 with your Arcana.
Okay. I wish I had telekinesis, but I don't.
Yes, you. Wait, don't you have Stonky's ring? Or did Caspian take that?
Caspian took that.
Damn, he took the telekinesis ring.
That is a 15.
Okay. So to the rest of the party,
I'm about to die.
That's the worst.
You hear a very... well, first off, Bardras, since Vasul can't really look over without being easily seen, as you kind of watch further down, both towards the tunnel that Tilket kind of disappeared into, as well as towards where you can see clearly Brazi's stepping into the mist just as he passes the 2 orcs. Guards that are standing there and seems to go off. You then suddenly feel feel the quake of the ground. This causes the entire tunnel to shake.
I'm gonna move.
The next thing you see is a thing of black smoke coming from the tunnel, and out comes Tilcat. Tilcat, you take...
I'm gonna shoo Vasul to a farther away hiding spot. We're gonna go.
Give me a moment.
We're gonna go.
You take 60 points of force damage as you come flying out and slam into the wall.
I'm down.
I'll heal you, I guess.
The good news is, you do see Tilcat is holding a diamond that looks to be about 5 inches in diameter and about 3 inches in length.
I'm putting that in my bag.
This is why it does not pay to be
and I'm being
greedy.
carried by Shin.
I want you to
Back
know,
to you.
I literally messaged Mike. He's gonna try to mine it. It's gonna explode, isn't it?
I literally am going to kill
Brazi,
you.
as you're standing there, you see the patrol suddenly turn your way. Now, they still don't see you, thankfully, because their perception's so low. as you're halfway across this lava lake. That's when you also notice there's almost a battalion, which is, from what you can gather at this point, almost 50 orcs now looking at you and in your general direction.
So is Sending Stone mental?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
going
he's
to
knocked
use my
out.
Sending
You're gonna
Stone.
get one of us to
Uh-huh.
pass.
I'm going to use my Sending Stone.
Okay.
Do I get to get to do it to the entire group so everybody hears that?
You can, yeah.
Sure, I'll allow it.
Okay. There's 50 fucking orcs on our way over here. Which one of you jackasses decided to blow up something?
Who do you
Actually,
think was
don't
fucking
ask
Kill
that.
Cat?
Actually, don't answer that question. I know who it is. I'm castrating you later. You're going to get us all killed. Everybody, fucking bolt.
Beep, beep, beep,
What
beep,
greed
beep.
does to a motherfucker.
So, Killcat can be carried by his own metal dog, right?
Yeah, he can easily be carried by Shin.
By Shin. Shin
Okay,
is
the
carrying
Squirrel's
me.
getting on the
Has to have
horse
a-
with me, and we're going.
Vasul can't be carried by the horse.
He's too
yeah,
big.
I'm a 400-pound, 8-foot elephant.
Really? So
At
it doesn't
this-
have a weight-
Yeah, but I am still treating it as a actual horse, even if it is undead. It's only going to be able to carry up to 300 pounds on its back.
It's not even undead. It's a thing made of magic.
I'm
So
still
how-
saying.
The horse.
Yeah.
How far is this
I'm gonna-
battalion?
From what you can tell, they will be at you. They're going to be at where you're at currently within 3 rounds.
All right. What's in the way? Is there anything I could perhaps
This-
damage?
yeah,
that could perhaps
These
fall
stepping
down?
stones. Well, looking up, you do see a bunch of spikes coming down from the earth that look to be of the similar material that Tillcat wonderfully decided to play with.
That exploded.
Yeah.
All right. How do I light
the
this bitch on
sulfur.
fire?
Firebolt.
If you have a spell, anything that causes a spark, you could throw a rock at it. If it causes a spark, technically, you can theoretically cause the whole thing
You
to
could
blow.
destroy this entire battalion.
All
If
right.
you throw
I'm
it
going-
hard enough, a simple rock can make a spark.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Firebolt. And
Either
book
that
it.
or like a metal-tipped arrow could
I'm
possibly.
gonna
do it.
use. I'm gonna. So, how far will it be before? How long do I have to wait before they get into sort of the range of these sulfur bits?
Give me a perception check
All right.
with
Perception.
disadvantage because you're very discombobulated after the explosion.
And it's
Okay.
very bright from the lava.
Oh,
Talk
that
about a
would be
base drop.
That would be a 2. Thanks, Cameron.
Good news, you didn't. You just needed to get better than a 1. This entire cave roof is covered in sulfur.
Oh, you can do it now.
Lovely. So, will I be blocked out if I do it?
You
Will I
could.
be blocked out? Okay.
You could be killed. This could blow up and launch you into the lava.
Stepping into the mist. Out. Launch it.
All right. I want to basically ensure my survival, so I kind of want to get out of there using
Okay.
stepping to the wisp, and I want to cast Prestidigitation and make a bunch of sparks. That way, the sulfur goes off. It explodes. So at the very least, blocks the battalion, and at the most, it kills the battalion.
Give me a spell attack roll.
All right.
So d20 plus 6 for you.
I see that. That would be a 14, 15, 16, 17,
You're
18,
good.
19.
You don't have to keep counting. Okay. As you cast Prestidigitation, as Vasul and Bardra start running, Tillcat is being dragged because Shin doesn't have enough time to put him on his shoulder. He is dragging the man
I'm
out.
using Spare the Dying on him because he doesn't deserve healing right now.
Okay. You have been spared. You do not have to make a death saving roll. As you are being dragged away, you're hitting every rock on the way, so you're going to have a nice headache after this. Brazi suddenly appears next to you, Bardris, as you hear boom, and suddenly a massive fireball comes flying towards you guys. Everyone give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
That including me.
No, you automatically fail. Don't worry.
14.
14, okay.
So I got a 5.
Okay.
But what do I want to do instead?
10.
Okay.
Or should I have Shin make it on my behalf?
No, you cannot.
I am gonna Shield of Faith myself to give me a better chance of surviving.
Okay. So all of you take full damage. Give me a moment to roll that.
What kind of damage is this? Is it just fire?
This will be fire damage.
gonna
That's
try and not be
47
blocked for
points of fire damage that gets launched towards you guys.
Sweet, I'm down.
The entire
It's only me
party,
and the elf are still up.
Wait, what'd you, how much damage?
47 fire damage.
One
How
health
badly
left.
does this?
I have
How
30
badly does this
people.
hurt Shin?
Shin's fine. He's
Just
glowing,
smoking.
and Tilcat will now be at disadvantage on all dexterity checks from now on because his foot is now being melted. But, good news, you can make a magical foot one day.
I'm gonna grab.
Vasul or...
Ozzy.
Okay. I was gonna say, Brazi is, if no one grabs him, the spider will toss him onto her back, and...
I'll grab Brazi so at least somebody's looking after him.
Don't worry, the spider is fine because it's close enough to the ground.
That's good.
So don't worry, Brazi, your mount is going to be fine on this. You're not burnt though, thankfully, and you don't have to make a death saving throw.
So
You're still alive. You're unconscious, and you're burnt a little bit.
okay. Let me put 1 HP then.
Yeah.
I
So
can't believe I actually managed to live through that with 1 HP.
yeah, that's good because you would have been dragged out. As you guys retreat, about 10 minutes later, you see what looks to be a very angry legion of dwarves in black armor walking up, marching. There's about 40 of them at this point walking towards you. And you see the man in front kind of stop as he looks up and goes, or he looks over at Bardris, recognizing him from earlier, and looks to his legion and kind of halts them. As he walks up to you, I believe this was Hugor Stone, which Trent might recognize the name of.
Huge.
Yeah, his favorite friend from beforehand, and a man who's met one of Trent's previous characters. Or sorry, yes, this is actually not Hugor. This is, I think, this would be Riga. So as Riga kind of stops, and she kind of looks at you lot for a second. And you see another dwarf kind of walk up. Riga being in a different store of like silver armor. She seems to be a very long, have long black hair, no beard on her. But another dwarf who met Bardris earlier, Ori, Stonecrusher, the leader of the Dark Legion, kind of walks up as this is his legion and looks at you lot and goes, "Need medical attention there, boyo?"
Yeah, but give the minimum to this idiot as I point at Tilcat.
Please tell me that explosion was a spell and not what I think it was.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. Only one person was down there when it happened. You'd have to ask this guy. And I point at Brazi.
Oh, he looks at you a lot and goes, "Alright." And he kind of ushers the medics forward. About an hour passed, you are all fully healed. Tilcat did have to have one of his left foot amputated. Because it literally was burnt to the bone. So, good news, Tilcat.
I will makeshift this diamond into a foot.
No, the fuck you won't. I said I complicated the diamond when you were knocked
I
out.
told you you have that's strength versus strength. I will fight for
You
this.
were
No.
knocked out.
Shin was
That's
carrying him, so you wouldn't have had a chance to get it from him, Bardris.
I am putting that in my bag of holding immediately
Let
when I
this be
get
known.
conscious.
Let this be known that the Cameron almost died count is currently 2.
Yeah.
Now let me measure out what this was for experience now, because you did get experience from that. That's the good news. Let's see what you managed to get.
Bad news. How are we gonna get through the city now?
That is the question.
Because wasn't the plan was to really just recon and not really take too much action?
Yeah, but somebody
You were
decided
supposed to heal
to
scout
absolutely...
squads and stuff.
Yeah, but
That-
somebody absolutely decided to ruin that plan, and I'm not laughing right now. I'm incredibly
Oh,
angry.
that was not funny. That was
As you lot kind of sit
Greedy
down
little no man.
and begin to kind of recover, or he gets more of the story from Brazi asking him kind of what happened, and as you explain the situation, he kind of nods his head and says agrees with that. You made the best choice in that. Although he's kind of surprised you were willing to go to that length to save your party. Given he looks at you because in his experience, most party mates wouldn't do that.
I have a job.
He nods and goes, uh-huh. Remind me, pint. I'll buy you a pint when we get back to town. So Woden's probably caved in. It's gonna take us a good couple months probably to fix it. But
Alright.
based on the amount of orcs you reported, I think you managed to kill what was left in there. Because there's enough sulfur in there to detonate a small cave-in for that city. And he kind of looks at you a little concerned, like, by the way, that diamond your friend got, those are called dwarven diamonds. They're not actual diamonds, they're glass.
Of course. No diamond is that large.
You bastard!
They explode on impact with anything. And they're known to be extremely toxic and can cause you to lose your hair.
It's radioactive.
Good.
You just picked up a less useful plutonium.
Good. So, would you like to keep it? Because I'm not letting him keep it.
I don't trust him. with
I
explosive
I can give it back to our alchemist to take care of it. And he kind of looks at Tilcat and goes, "If you'll hand it to me, please."
You're going to hand it to him.
Damn it, I was hoping to make something fun out of this.
No.
He
Give it
kind
over.
he
I
kind
don't like this.
Absolutely not.
he daintily grabs it from you with 2 fingers and then hands it over to a dwarf that comes over in a strange-looking leather suit that covers his face.
There's also a separate type of bomb buried out there. I wouldn't.
You didn't get a
take it
chance
out
to
of it.
finish. You never got the chance to bury it. It's still in your inventory.
I'm gonna also say you might want to take this as well. It's something else I found in one of the side caves. I think it was a trap.
Or he looks at you and goes, "No, you can keep that," and turns and goes back to doing what he was doing. As you see the dwarf that took the diamond walk off, you see another one come forward and kind of looks at Brazi and Bardris and says, "We have something for you too," and he kind of brings you guys back. You know, this is just some random dwarven soldier.
Okay.
I'll follow.
I'm gonna
Yep.
quickly bury the bag.
There's nowhere to bury it here. You're on a road. Like, this is like actual individual stones. You'd have to
You
tear the
destroyed
stone
place.
out.
You could have buried it.
Can I lift up one of the stones with Shin's help and put it under it?
Shin doesn't have the strength ability to lift anything. So
The sword won't help him with anything as I leave.
I wasn't planning on it.
he looks at you lot and he goes, all right. And he kind of looks at one of you and goes, we've got, and he puts a necklace over Brazi's neck and hands it, kind of just gives it to him. Says, "That's for you." And he looks at the Bardris and goes, I can give you something, but I don't think this will be your kind of thing. If
I'm
you're
a scholar. I'll study it at the worst.
all right, and he kind of grabs a a pair of what look to be winter-like boots. Bardris, you get the boots of Winterlands added to your inventory.
No, these are useful.
And for Brazi, you get the amulet of proof against detection and whatever the rest of it's called.
Section and location.
Yes.
I'm gonna attune to this. No, that's absolutely useful.
And they go, for taking those orcs out for us, the commander wished to give these to you. Please. And then he kind of takes out a carved peg foot, or a carved wooden foot, and says, "Give this to your compatriot."
I will grudgingly do so.
It might be better just to leave him with one leg.
That won't stop me.
Brazi, he'll make it
no.
explode.
You know what? No. I'm all about giving second chances. Maybe this was just a lapse of judgment. Give him the leg.
Got it.
And guys, thank you for your services. If you lot would like to camp out with us for the night,
It would be my pleasure.
we would understand.
It would be my pleasure. Thank you. I hope you don't mind my
You can
pet
go
as
with
I
them,
point
Brazi.
over as I point over to my spider.
He looks and he goes, No, just don't let it eat anybody.
I'll try.
The men start bringing in tables and start setting for a feast for the night.
We'll go grab the other two.
Okay, so
Do the
I
foot
ride it on Shin around until I
Alright.
get the foot, because I'm gonna do something to the foot.
You better fucking not. It's made of wood.
I'm just gonna enchant it with Longstrider or Featherfall.
okay, you managed to gain a good amount of experience from killing that legion. However, Tilcat, you lose 500 of that XP because you basically were almost dead.
I am fine with that.
So that is in
It
total
was
only
fun.
8.
I decided to do something stupid for once.
So at Tilcat you get 800 XP
Yep,
for
I
yourself.
already added it.
Okay.
Quick math.
As they set to a feast. Yes.
I'm officially the strongest at level 5.
Oh, congrats. As he sets to as they set the feast, they start bringing out food, and one of the dwarves looks at Vasul, seeing that he is large, and kind of sits down with a very large, or a couple of kegs of ale, and says, "Drink," and hands you a cup, Vasul.
Okay.
What are you talking about, cup? He just picks up the keg.
The cup is barely big enough to fit one of your fingers into the handle of.
Crack open the barrel.
Oh, okay.
Like a cold one.
No.
And start downing it.
Crack it open a cold one with
The dwarf looks at you and says, "I like your style," and he grabs one of the barrels and cracks it open and starts drinking from it as
I
well.
don't want to know what that giant elephant can do when he's drunk.
Alright, Vasul, give me a con saving throw.
We shall see what happens.
So I got a new passive ability that's really useful.
17.
Alright, give me 2 more if you wouldn't mind, as he's going to continue drinking with you.
DM, something you need to keep in mind. I no longer touch the floor. I am now forever
7?
floating.
Okay. Yes, no worries, Bardros. Gotcha.
7 and 4 are my next 2.
Okay, so by the end of the night, Vasul passes out before the dwarf does. However, as the dwarf is barely standing at this point, he looks at Vasul, sits his hammer down, which is just a very simple war hammer, and then falls over.
Ooh, another warhammer to enchant.
Brazi, you find yourself given a rather large feast as the dwarves seem to tell you tales of their exploits on the surface, where many of them have fought against orcs in combat.
Absolutely fascinating.
Most, if not all, stay the fuck away from Tilcat and don't go anywhere near him.
I don't blame
He has his own table set out, and like food is dropped off with a very large stick that sets it down. They just bring you plates. They don't allow you near them.
they can saddlebag my horse and it can carry it around on little like ropes. It's fine.
And
I
Bardros,
just send Shin if I need more food.
Bardros, you are also seem to be kind of avoided by many of the dwarves as they see your horse.
I mean, the horse vanishes and appears. If I'm not using it, then
That is where we're gonna end today's session because I don't have much more planned past that. Thank you all for watching.
The reason I did something stupid for once.
I hope you've enjoyed.
Half session.
seriously.
I didn't. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next session.